Air Vice Marshal Bahadur, I will go to first. But before that, I wanted to just quickly list the big questions that we're asking at this point of time. Here are 5 basic questions that we are asking at this point of time. Question number 1, basic, is there a problem with the Dhruv? Question number 2, let's move to question number 2. Is HAL resisting a substantial fix? What is that resistance about? Number 3, is only HAL to blame or are operators to blame as well? Question number 4, does this flashpoint, this anger, this debate that's happening online erode faith in the Dhruv? And question number 5, finally, is it time for the Ministry of Defence or the government to step in and sort out this matter, because this is something that simply cannot be left ambiguous in this manner. I'm going to start with Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur. Greetings to you, sir. Okay, we'll go to Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur in just a moment. Captain Karve, what is your view on this situation? We've heard from many pilots who say that the onus is squarely on HAL to offer a transparent and acceptable solution to this spate of crashes, and they believe that HAL has not done enough. What is your view?
See, there are a few things which we must note and appreciate. The first helicopter entered into service in roughly 2002 or 2003. That means more than 20 years that this helicopter has been flying in India. Fortunately for HAL and unfortunately for everyone else, HAL has got a captive customer, that is the Indian Armed Forces. HAL knows for certain, irrespective of what happens, especially with this Make in India program, the armed forces cannot move away from ALH or Dhruv. Otherwise, an operator with 300 plus aircraft would have a lot of say with the manufacturer. Here we have 340, 350 aircrafts operating with the armed forces. We have had 30 major accidents. And every time, like you said, we have band-aid fixes going on without really going into the basic problem. Now, when you say operational errors and training errors, my question is, who designed this training program? HAL as the OEM. Any new machine which comes in, it is the manufacturer who designs a training program and gives it to the operator. The operator may add on to it. Very rarely will an operator reduce the training program, knowing that the OEM has taken everything into consideration. So if HAL is going to say training failure, again the buck lies with the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, that they have apparently failed to give you a foolproof training program. The basic question what we have here is, it's very easy to say pilot error, maintenance error. My question to everyone is, why is it that an individual who is trained over a number of years to fly an aircraft or maintain an aircraft make an error? Is it lack of judgment, or is it that he has not been given the resources that he has been promised? That means you promise that this equipment will behave in a particular manner, but it doesn't behave and has not been told about it. Look, we have a problem. A simple example is the control rods. In a helicopter, who would expect that the control rods would malfunction? And subsequently, HAL comes up and says, oh no, we have strengthened it by changing it to a steel. Obviously, what you're saying is that the original control rods were not sufficiently strong enough. Now, is this how you want to go? Make in India or make Indian stuff?
Yes.
But whilst giving HAL a leeway, I also have a point. The armed forces are the major customers for HAL. And invariably, there have been issues where the service headquarters have thrust upon the squadrons of the services to accept the aircraft in C2 and told them, look, we need to accept this aircraft. We will solve the problems as and when we come in.
Okay, so you're saying that the onus... So you're saying the onus is on HAL. I'll come back to you, Captain Karve. Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur, who, as I said, has written multiple articles and raised the alarm on what he believes is intransigence and maybe a kind of resistance to look into this matter in a holistic and satisfactory manner on HAL's part, is the real problem here. Air Vice Marshal Bahadur, welcome. Your view on this. You say that the spotlight is squarely on HAL to act on this, sir.
Shiv, it's like this. This is a national product, a flagship product of the Indian aviation industry. And we have to be careful about how it performs. This is the flag bearer. So hence, it is on the duty of everybody, the ministry, the government, and HAL, including CEMILAC, who certifies the aircraft, to make sure that this aircraft remains flyworthy and does not lose the confidence of the operators. The point now is that so many accidents have happened. We still don't know what is with respect to the latest Coast Guard accident. However, the Times of India reports that that the nose was seen pitching down and the aircraft crashed. If that be so, then we have to be very clear, is it a control problem? Because that is the basic point for a pilot. He should be able to control the aircraft. That aside, as I said, the bigger issue is carrying the burden of India's aviation industry. With 400 odd aircraft flying all over, we cannot afford to have such flight safety record. And hence, it is, and as I tweeted actually to the Raksha Mantri, that please, for God's sake, institute an independent board that has
that does not involve HAL.
No. It should involve HAL. It must be HAL also, CEMILAC, plus experts from outside, metallurgical experts or engine experts or whatever.
Okay, so an independent mission to look into these involving HAL, CEMILAC and other agencies is the prescription from Air Vice Marshal Bahadur. But a lot of the voices that have been coming in, even though they do accept that many things need to happen for this issue to be resolved, the maximum number of fingers seem to point at HAL because it is there that it is believed that the real work needs to happen, and it has not happened so far. Anantha Krishnan, my old friend, who's a veteran journalist, Tarmac Media House is his new journalism venture. He's also had a stint as a spokesperson of HAL many years ago. Anant, what do you make of this? You know, you have seen this up close. Angry veterans are basically saying that the safety of a very prized flagship product like the Dhruv is being compromised because HAL is being stubborn and not being transparent and not showing commitment to actually revisit the design and fix what is wrong. What is your take on that, Anant?
Shiv, they're all veterans, so they've been there, done that. So I have to accept what they're saying. This helicopter, if you look at it, the last 20 years, from 2004, if I can recall, there have been at least 9 major accidents, and we don't have access to the crash reports, which which never come out. But with some sources, what we try to figure out, at a later point of time, I do understand, out of these 9 major accidents, sources tell that 3 due to mechanical error and 3 due to pilot error. And again, we have no independent way we can verify this. So yes, there are quality concerns with HAL products, but when you speak to the test pilots, when you speak to people who worked on this particular project, and also people in the certifying agencies, and in services, whether it's Air Force, Navy, I have not spoken to anybody in Coast Guard, but there are issues, with the, I don't know whether it is quality issue, I don't know whether it is serviceability issue, but different kinds of versions coming out. I think it is time for HAL, as one gentleman said, an independent inquiry that looks into various factors. Right from the first crash was because of rotor blade issue. You all know that, we all reported, and then now the control rod. So I think, one after the other, different things come up. I think basically for HAL, that it's a listed company, I think the best thing to do is that they have to come clean. So how do they come clean? Yes, an independent inquiry involving all the stakeholders, and let us also know what has happened, because we don't know what's happening now. These veterans and experts, they have they know, they have some expertise, but the fact is nothing comes out. So I think it's time for HAL to come out. And I did speak to HAL also today after you call me in. So, there are some figures that is given, the crash ratios across the world. When it comes to
Yes.
that, this is better. No doubt it's an amazing platform, but, there you can't have our our brave hearts, you can't have like
Absolutely.
pilots.
Anand and gentlemen, let me just read out some accident data. And remember that this is not a show to somehow paint the Dhruv in some kind of poor light. We're only reflecting the voices and the views of experts, stakeholders who have flown these machines, and have a view on this. This is not some personal opinion. In the last 4 months, there have been 3 Dhruv crashes. 4 pilots have been killed. In the last 4 months. Over 23 years, there have been 23 crashes of this platform. 17 pilots have been killed across those 23 crashes. The first fatal crash happened in February 2007, and the latest fatal crash is the one that happened last week in January 2025. That was the Coast Guard platform that crashed in Porbandar.